Hello, and welcome back to the live reading of Cayce Undercover, Book 1, Redacted. We are on Chapter 23. I don't resurface because I'm brave. I resurface because I refuse to let other people write the ending. Nell, clutching the notebook, had turned a page I didn't even know existed. Before what's too late, I pressed Nell while we were in the mining office. Nell lifted her chin, librarian steel settling in. I don't know what I expected when Nell showed me the scrawled, nearly illegible name, nor did I expect Nell to turn pale, her fingers tightening around the page like she could crush the truth between them. It wasn't a name I recognized. Dr. Milton Falk. The name the name was meaningless to me. But Nell looked like she had just signed a contract with the pitchfork wielding guy in the red suit. I didn't have time to unpack this. Luke was on the ground, Jenna was rattled, and Mal was somewhere out there furious and not used to losing. We needed to get out of there, fast. The night felt heavier than it should, like the air had thickened, pressing down on us with the weight of the things we weren't saying. The moment we stepped outside, it seemed like we'd broken through a tension wire strung between past and present. The sky stretched above us, dark, wide, and vastly indifferent to the unraveling mess beneath it. The wind had picked up and was rattling through the tree branches, carrying with it the smell of earth and metal. Somewhere, an animal let out a shrill, warbling cry. I'm running on adrenaline, my heart pounding like it hadn't quite caught up to the fact that, for now at least, we aren't being chased. That doesn't mean we're safe. Mal and who knows who else is out there, watching, waiting. Jenna and Nell and I helped hoist Luke into the car, his weight dragging, his face pained. He's awake enough to be helpful, which is a good sign. Told you I didn't like this, Cayce, he manages. We rush back into the mining office and make it back without running into anyone else. Then a few minutes later, we're inside Luke's Tahoe with our evidence. Luke is stretched across the rear seat, with Jenna now gripping the steering wheel, ready to run over whoever gets in our way. She puts the Tahoe into drive, her hands locked on the wheel. What the hell was that? She asks, voice low, like she's just realizing how the night went. I don't answer right away. I'm too busy watching Nell in the rearview mirror, who sits rigid in the rear jump seat, my notebook clutched tight. It's not just about mining to her, but about whatever ugly history she has stumbled through with her son. It's about what happened to her granddaughter. I glance back at her. We'll come back for your car when you're up for it. The Tahoe rattles over a seam in the pavement. Nell keeps her eyes on whatever is happening just inside the window. That was that wasn't pretend, I urge. What did he do to your granddaughter, Nell? For a long moment, I think she's going to ignore my questions. Then a deep, convulsive sigh rattles up from her vinyl-clad toes. Only, from the expression she wears, I no longer feel like making fun of her. Something that should never have happened. Not to anyone, not to a child, not to anyone, she intones, still staring at whatever is happening just inside her window. Then her mouth clamps shut, signifying that's all I'm going to get out of her. I should demand answers. I should rip the notebook out of her hands and force her to tell me what the hell happened, what dirt she has on her son, and what this Dr. Milton Falk business means. But I don't, because for the first time, I think Nell wants to tell me something personal. She just doesn't know how to put down her tiny little shields. Luke's breathing is ragged but steady. We get him back and make him comfortable as best we can. No hospitals. No hospitals, he repeats. I have to agree. We don't trust anyone in this town. Enough for that. Nell moves to the corner where she thumbs through the notebook with a silent glare. Simon shows up in seeming minutes, not asking questions, just there, sans arrogance. He moves quickly, setting Luke's arm in a sling, cleaning the worst of the cuts, his voice low and assuring. He doesn't hesitate, doesn't fumble, just works. Low-voiced, efficient, unfazed by the wreckage of Luke's face. He handles it like muscle memory, another thing about him I didn't see coming. On the couch, Luke stirs, his head lolling as he blinks at Simon. His mouth barely moves around the words, the syllables sticking together. Didn't know you had so gigs a medic. Simon glances down at him, expression faintly disturbed. You guys need to back off, he mumbles with a glare in my direction. He ties off the string and adjusts it, gently, like he's a field surgeon in the hedgerows of Normandy in the midst of an Allied invasion. He steps back. I'm going to rephrase that because it doesn't ring right. Let's try it this way. He ties off the sling and adjusts it gently, like he's a field surgeon in the... Once more, like he's a field surgeon in the hedgerows of Normandy, ignoring the oncoming Allied invasion. He steps back and says, voice level, just enough to get your old bones through. There's something in the way he says it. No bravado, no deflection, just humility. Yet another thing he's good at, just not with me. To me, Simon has been the kind of person who reminds you not to drink coffee after 8, or to file your taxes before they're due, or who uses odd humor at the most inopportune times, such as that day in AP history when the ceiling tile collapsed and dumped brown water all over Rachel Klein's test paper. Simon said, pretty sure that's what they mean by a flood of information, causing the entire class to erupt in hysterics. But there's no jokes now. This Simon is caring and temperate, perhaps also a tad boring. I clear my throat. Okay, Ms. Nightingale, what else do we need to do before you start taking vitals? Simon shakes his head, hiding what I'm pretty sure is a snort, and packs up his kit. He shoots Luke a lingering look, a meaningful one, the kind that means something, the kind that indicates something has been agreed upon by them, something we weak females aren't in on. As in, the boys are taking charge. As if, Jenna rolls her eyes, noting this. Oh, here we go. Luke tries to chime in. You know you got it. Stop this, right? His voice is rough. Jenna crosses her arms. So we let him just keep getting away with it? I'm serious, he mumbles. You think your little internet war's scaring them? You're making yourselves easy to find. She moves to his side, adjusting his blanket, murmuring something I can't hear. I want to say we know what we're doing, that we're controlling the narrative. But we don't. Luke got hurt because of me. I thought exposing them made us untouchable when it only made us easier targets. I rake my hair with my fingers, addressing the three of them. Simon is right. Luke is right. Well, who's right here? Somebody's right. I'm going to say Luke is right. You guys need to step back for now. Simon says a bit hotly. Careful. If you keep talking like that, people might think you've started planning ahead. Jenna looks up. Okay, we will, Cayce, for sure. If you do. Then Jenna moves before I can respond. She scoops up the stack of copied ledgers and shoves them into an oversized bag. She pulls the memory card from her camera, slips it into the lining of her jacket, and replaces it with a blank one. She does this without making eye contact with me. Simon drags a second monitor close, plugs in an external drive, and starts mirroring everything. Windows multiply across his screens. Password prompts, encryption keys, a script compiling in the background. On the couch, Luke sighs. We don't retreat. We consolidate. After we get Luke patched up and stable enough to argue intelligibly, Jenna and I pile into the Tahoe and head toward town. The roads are empty, the kind of small town quiet that feels curated. We drop Nell at her car first. Jenna offers to take her home, but Nell waves her off. It should be drive her home. She says she'll get there on her own. She says she doesn't need any help, says she's fine. The way she says it tells me she is anything but fine. She steps out of the Tahoe. Let's make that climb since she's so little. She climbs down out of the Tahoe, notebook still clutched in her hands, and walks toward her sedan without looking back. Maybe we should give her a Camry, something very innocuous, and walks toward her Camry without looking back. I don't know what she plans to do with it. I know this, she's not giving it to Mal. That should be a relief, but it isn't because I don't know what she's protecting. Jenna drums her fingers against the steering wheel, speaking my thoughts. What is she hiding? I don't like loose ends. This Dr. Milton Falk, whoever he is the loosest end of all. His name caused Nell to turn pale, to look like she was holding back horrified screams. When I tried to trace it down, tried to understand what rattles her about him, I get nothing. Which is why, an hour later, I'm standing behind Simon's chair again, arms crossed. The glow of his monitors illuminating his door face. Find anything? I ask. Simon doesn't look at me. Yeah, no. Jenna glances up from the files we pulled from the mining office. Could you maybe be a little less specific? Simon taps the key and pulls one of his screens into focus. The search results slide across our view. Small town newspaper clippings, obituaries, property records. A Dr. Milton Falk did exist, he says. He lived in Wallamolsink about 40 years ago, ran a private practice, did house calls, delivered babies, that kind of thing. The obituaries call him the kind of guy who checked in on people even if they couldn't pay. He leans back, running a hair through his hair. That's all there is. I frown. What do you mean by that's all? I thought you were aren't you the super hacker? Not Simon nods toward the screen. I mean, there's no medical board records, no hospital affiliations, no schooling history, no employment trail. It's like the man appeared out of nowhere, played the country doctor for a while, and then vanished. Jenna's brows pull together. So what? He retired and disappeared? Simon shakes his head. If he retired, there'd be a record, a change of ownership for his practice, a forwarding address. There's nothing, just a handful of old stories about how beloved he was. Then he mocks an explosion with his hands. Poof! I stare at the screen. The picture of a kindly country doc leaving behind a trail of buried truths doesn't make sense. Jenna leans forward, scanning one of the articles while I note either he was the nicest guy to ever wear a stethoscope or we're looking at a whole lot of well-placed fiction. We try to untangle it. Nell was looking for his name in the phone and notebook. She knew something and wanted proof. Simon's fingers glide over the keyboard, running search after search, stating, whoever erased him did a damn good job. Jenna drums her fingers on the table. If she was looking for his name, why did Nell act so surprised when she found it, like someone whacked her with a tennis racket? I'm going to make that an electrified tennis racket. Like someone whacked her with an electrified tennis racket. I stare at the name on the screen. We need to find someone who remembers him. Luke groans from the couch, shifting uncomfortably. Back off from that plan. Simon's screens cast a glow over his face, satellite imagery on one monitor, public records on another, and the third running search on the names Jenna now dictates from the files. We have gone through the evidence we found in the mining office, cross-checking the photos against the files we lifted. Most of it appears meaningless. Old ledgers, payroll records, lists of equipment. Buried in the mess, we find something interesting. Jenna taps a nail against her cell phone screen. Here's the thing, she says. People disappear all the time. They leave jobs, move towns. There are names in the system that don't show up anywhere else. No resignations, no transfers, just gone. She turns the screen toward me, but before I read it, a screen flickers on one of Simon's monitors. Names pulled into a chart, dates stacked into neat columns. Franklin Holloway, Victor Harland, Thomas Gray. The same three names as before. But none of them exist past the date they stopped working at the mine. Gray was the foreman, I note. Until he wasn't, Simon says. Guess when all three of them disappeared? He doesn't have to say it because we know. The year of the third breach. Simon clicks something and a map appears. Gray's name pops up one more time. He says, a purchase record dated 3 months after he disappeared. Jenna and I both lean in. Purchase for what? We ask. A one-way bus ticket, Simon says, to Newark. So he got out. Simon shakes his head in the negative. The ticket was paid for, but there's no record of it being used. No hotel, no rental car, no flight, no address. He looks at me. Either he skipped town or erased himself, or someone did it for him. Luke shifts on the couch, wincing. So, what's the move? If you can't post us. Jenna presses her lips together, not arguing. Luke's right. We stepped too far into the light, made ourselves too obvious. The next move has to be off the radar. We need to find someone else who remembers, I repeat. Jenna sighs. Let's just put up a missing presumed dead sign for ourselves while we're at it. I look at her. Do we want Malachi Ephron Whitaker III to win? She stares at me, deadpan, for a moment. Then, simultaneously, we break into explosive laughter. For a second, we're 15 again, hyped up on energy drinks, shrieking and howling so hard we can't breathe. Simon and Luke stare at us like they've caught us sipping gasoline behind the shed. Jenna wipes her eyes, giggling. I'm fine, I'm good. I inhale and stifle a choke. Luke lets out an excessively long sigh. We'd love some of what you're having. I turn to Simon, still grinning. His eyes flick to mine, linger for a second, then return to his search window, the wall between us firmly in place. Malachi Ephron Whitaker III. The revelation of Mal the Maleficent's true name would have been gut-wrenchingly funny at the time if we hadn't been so worried about Luke's inert form on the ground and the dual firearms being waggled between mother and son like we were in the midst of a Tarantino revenge plot gone wrong. Give me the notebook, Layton, Mal ordered as I gripped my bag tight. You have no warrant, I cried back, my voice unsteady. Mal smiled. I'm the only warrant you need. His gun finger twitched. It wasn't a request. There I was. No exits, no backup, no options. As I tried to figure out what to do, Nell stepped forward, her voice sharp. Malachi Ephron Whitaker III! Take another step and I'll tell everyone! It was a quick twitch, but I saw it. The flicker of an ashamed little boy caught in the act of drawing dirty pictures on his sister's math book, then being made to erase them. Tell them what, Mother? His voice cracked. You don't. Nell's chin lifted. You know what you did. In the ensuing silence, Mal's trigger finger stilled, and he swallowed his sentence, knowing an eraser wouldn't fix whatever it was he'd done. As I try to sleep, my mind won't stop looping through the same thoughts over and over. Mel's expression when Nell threatened to reveal whatever it was he'd done, the way Nell's hand shook when she flipped open the notebook, the look on her face when she located Dr. Milton Falk's names in its pages, the wall between me and Simon, stony, unbreachable. I tell myself I'll figure it all out in the morning, but deep down I know better. Truths don't wait for morning. My mind reels to the three who vanished: Harland, Holloway, Gray. One dead, two missing. My mind again lands on Simon. Something about the way he moved tonight, efficient, quiet, in control. The way he and Luke didn't have to speak to reach an understanding. I will myself to sleep. I've got work in the morning. Maybe if I push in just the right way, I can get some answers out of Nell. I no longer call her queen. She's the gatekeeper standing between me and truth. That's one wall I intend to break down. Okay, and that was chapter 23. I will see you back here for chapter 24. Thanks, guys. Bye.